G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is the 1st of April 2023. This is the crude oil price update, the US crude oil. On the daily chart, we're still in a downtrend, although it has broken to the upside beyond this descending diagonal trend line. The 4-hour chart and the hourly charts are showing an uptrend with a CCI and its moving average breaking upwards, so that's a positive in terms of bullishness. Likewise, it's broken up through this diagonal trend line, as we said. Let's drill down at each of these, get a bit more clarity in what's happening. So again, the CCI is still in a downtrend, and we want to avoid going long primarily if the CCI is below its moving average. So you would have gone out of any long trades and stopped long trades at that period there, even though the moving average 200 of the price chart was still going up. So that's just an early indicator of potential change of direction. So anyway, we've got this key support and key resistance area, and it's also this descending diagonal trend line and has broken up through that. Now it just may be a false break like it did back here, so I've got to be careful it doesn't continue on a downtrend. So primarily take short trades, only especially if the 4-hourly and the hourly turn down. In other words, be careful of going along. So at the moment, the 4-hour chart is likewise showing similar traits. It's broken up through this descending trend line. Now we did say typically, and not always, there's no 100% guarantee, but typically when the price bounces down from the 50 or 60% level or anywhere in between that area, it usually continues on a downtrend. But here it rested there for a number of hours, and then it broke through that descending line, but it also broke through the 61%, which is a key level of Fibonacci retracement. So we may see it break higher up from there. So our next potential target will be the 78% Fibonacci retracement level. Likewise on the hourly chart, there was a Fibonacci extension drawn here between that range and that rebound, and you can see there originally in our last video it hit the 100% extension, and since our last video it's gone up to the 123% almost exactly as we speak. So potentially the next target will be the 161 level, but again let's wait and see what happens before we get too confident. In terms of potential trade entries, I've got this fractal added to the chart with some long and short targets. So again, you would only trade the hourly if the 4-hourly and the daily are in alignment. In other words, you only trade long here whenever this is also long and this is long. So in this case, you would very cautiously go long based on the 4-hourly. Just be mindful the daily is still in a pretty strong downtrend. But just generally in terms of trading ideas, during this period when the CCI moving average is going long and the CCI is above its moving average, you would wait for a break above the fractals, and that fractal line there, on that candle, let me just drill a bit more. That candle there would have been an ideal place to go long, and I've placed a 1% target here on the hourly chart. On the daily, you might want to place a 5% target. So again, this all depends on your exit strategy, where you're comfortable and what risk profile you have. But as a trading idea, you would go long at that point, and the target would have been a 1% at that point, so you would have got out of the trade a couple of hours later. Try and avoid going long during subsequent these candles here, because you want to do it ideally when it breaks the fractals on its first instance. So you would have gone long there potentially and gotten out of the trade a couple of hours later. Next potential entry would have been probably on that candle there. Okay, the CCI is above its moving average. It breaks above the candle, above the fractal, and that would have been your target there, and you would have got target hit at that point, one of those candles there. That would have been another potential entry, and so on. Another potential entry there with the target up there. So that's just just a trading idea for those that are relatively new at using targets and strategies, etc. So basically, just be careful of going long at the moment, cautiously going long, because the hourly and a 4-hourly are in an uptrend. Just be mindful because the daily is still in a pretty strong downtrend. Once the daily breaks in an uptrend and all three timelines are aligned and you're trading the hourly, then you can more confidently trade the hourly going long or short if they're all aligned in the same direction. To understand how to properly trade using some trading ideas, reference links in the description below. Subscribe and like the channel. Support us also on Patreon. Links in the description below. Thanks, and see you in the next video.